Bro, please tell me you saw that Love is Blind finale. That Jimmy and Chelsea drama? Then Clay and AD? Oh my golly, Wally? Huh? What do you mean, what about Amy and Johnny? They were in it? Look, all I know is I'm calling Clay's mom and asking her to adopt me. What do you mean I gotta be under 18? Oh man. All right, welcome to Tate's Take. If you're new here, today we're breaking down the season 6 finale of Love is Blind. And I'm gonna be talking about it like you've seen it too. If that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button for your boy. For my regular Taste Takers, I'm starting a GoFundMe for Clay's mom to make sure she never has to lift a finger another day in her life. Boom, episode 12. This one's called Meet Me at the Altar. We pick up right where we left off with Jimmy and Chelsea at that theme park, not realizing what we're about to see was the real thrill ride. As you might remember, episode leaves us off with that cliffhanger where the good folks at Netflix editing want us to believe that it's Jimmy that's not sure of what Chelsea's gonna say at the altar. Also, hold up. I know it's episode 12, but doesn't Jimmy look like Osmosis Jones? You know, obviously you don't know nothing about no Osmosis Jones. Anyway, he says, I love you, you're my person, but he's just not sure where she's at with all this. Basically, Chelsea's like, yeah, I'm all the way in. You're my person. You're gonna be a great husband and a great dad. She's like, yesterday, I was having an off day. Respectfully, you've been having an off season, but I know nobody asked me. And before the opening credits, we have our first, oh my golly, Wally, moment of the episode. Jimmy tells Chelsea, every day you've done everything I could ever ask for in a wife, but I don't want to go to the altar. She's done everything. Hold on, let me see. Anyway, we're all at home hearing this like, Chelsea is stuck. She doesn't know what to say. She's out there like, all right, hold on, let me think. Because, let me think. Poor girl needs a dirty martini to get her powers back. Jimmy's like, hey, you said that Amy and Johnny were the strongest couple. He's still not over that. He didn't like that. Chelsea can't believe it. She's like, wait a minute, you're set on not going to the altar? He's like, yes. Chelsea's like, why did you wait to tell me until now? Jimmy's like, girl, I wanted to ride roller coasters. You know I love roller coasters. Now she's scrambling. She's like, well, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I feel like I can't tell you that hurt my feelings because you're just gonna get upset. Jimmy says, like what? Chelsea's like, Jimmy then again brings up the whole him hooking up with his friend thing, which he saw as a breach of trust because he told Chelsea not to talk about that, which it was a breach of trust. Chelsea can't understand that it's not about telling the world who he has hooked up with, but that it's about his friend not needing her sexual history displayed all over Netflix. This is a show that she didn't sign up for. Chelsea's trying to tell him that it's just kind of weird for him to be that close with a friend that he hooked up with. Jimmy Cochran's over here like, Chelsea, you talk to your ex just as much and that relationship is more recent. Chelsea's like, OMG, I barely talked to him. Jimmy's like, girl, you just FaceTimed him. Chelsea's like, well, he asked me what I was wearing, so I figured I would just FaceTime him real quick so he could see the look. Just kidding. Chelsea brings up the fact that he said that she wants to have sex and he doesn't. Jimmy's like, when did I say that? We're all at home like, episode 8, bro. 47 minutes and 27 seconds, my boy. Chelsea's like, I can't believe you're throwing in the towel for one issue. Now I sound like Soldier Boy because I'm like, one? Jimmy's like, you told the world my deepest, darkest secret. Chelsea's like, your deepest, darkest secret is that you fucked your friend? Okay, finally 1 point for Chelsea. The current score is 1-93. Chelsea leaves the table to have her moment to cry. Boom! Then they drop the opening credits. Holy moly, y'all wanted to start off that hot? Okay, maybe it was too hot because now we're about to cool off at these Bachelor and Bachelorette parties. Like, what even is this? Seriously, Netflix, all you gotta do is hit me up and I'll come to these parties. At least Amy and AD's looked a little bit more fun, but Clay and Johnny looked like they was at a student government meeting. I mean, at least Amy's enjoying herself. The poor girl looked like she ain't ever had fun a day in her life. This is where AD finds out that Amy still hasn't had sex with Johnny yet. And they must have been giving AD some of Chelsea's drinks because she's all in the confessional like, I don't care what y'all say. She fucking that man. AD probably just trying to drink the pain away because that joy that Amy's jumping around with in anticipation of wedding day, AD feels no such joy. And I guess now that I really stop and think about it, it is kind of crazy that they're gonna get married without having sex. AD brings up the whole like, you're buying a car without test driving a thing, which, oh yeah. You guys can comment on it if you If you don't, I don't have to, but if you wanna. Huh? Amy tells AD she's about 98% sure that Johnny's gonna say yes. AD doesn't even know what that's even like. Over to Clay and his boys at his bachelor party. I don't even know if they got music. Maybe Andre 3000 over here could play something on his flute. Why don't they just let them go to like a local Charlotte bar and be around regular humans? Didn't they used to do that? This whole bachelor party was giving that fake ass Willy Wonka experience in London. Did y'all see that? But lucky for us, we're out of there because now it's wedding day. AD and Clay are up first and AD pulls up in the freaking Rolls Royce. Sheesh, heard you sis. She's telling us that never in a bazillion years did she think she'd be there today. Girl, you're on Love is Blind. The chances that you'd be at a wedding today are extremely high. If you want to talk about things that are a 1 in a bazillion chance, let's talk about the chance that Clay actually says yeah. Okay. Just freaking relax, Christopher. Just relax. Anyway, AD's with her friends and family telling them why she fell in love with Clay. Her mom pulls up in the middle of it looking like the Hamburglar. She just came from meeting Clay's mom, and it is official. She's in love with the whole family. She's like, yeah, his mom is solid. She's exactly who I would have picked to be a mother-in-law for you. They ask AD, do you think Clay's gonna be a good husband? AD says, I think Clay's gonna be a great daddy. No, because they were asking about like him being a husband first, you know? Poor thing doesn't even know she's doing it to herself. Anyway, there's a nice moment here where she gets that jade pendant that's been passed down from the women in her family. It might be a good idea to just let your mom hold on to this one just until further notice. Nah, in all seriousness, even though this is a show where you have no idea who's gonna say I do, it's still nice to see the traditions like this one. I'm sure it means a lot. Over to Clay's side, and he's looking like, I don't know, pick any 90s R&B singer. He's with his people. Clay has not stopped talking since episode 1, and he's not gonna stop now. He's telling us that he views this relationship like a graded test paper and he's ready to ace it. Now we get one of the moments we've been waiting for. We meet Mr. Steal Your Girlfriend's mom, Clay's dad, Trevor. And if you were ever wondering where Clay got his love for talking, I give you Clay's dad, who is telling us his entire track resume just because. This whole conversation sounds less like a father and son, but more like two coworkers that work for the same company, but in different offices, and they're finally getting together at like an offsite, like an all hands meeting, like just catching up. You know? He's telling Clay how his dad wasn't really around and present, but his mom was. And for a second, I wasn't even sure if he was talking or rapping. Remember when he was like, if you think you're beaten, you are. If you think you won, you win. If you think you lost, you lose. Too low to get under, too high to get over. You're stuck in the middle. Mama say, mama saw. Mama. In all seriousness, I thought this scene was gonna be where Clay finally calls out his dad for his infidelity, how he treated his mom, did he love his mom? But we get no such thing. He's talking to the confessional about this stuff, but I thought he was gonna actually confront his dad. And if I had to guess, I would say that Clay don't feel that comfortable to even ask his dad that question, especially on TV, which is unfortunate. Okay, back over to AD in her dress, and I think it looks lovely. And yes, Queen, we see the Christian Louboutins. Her mom tells her that Clay's gonna say I do. I mean, she's a mom. What else is she supposed to say? All right, we're over to the ceremony, and it's driving me crazy that Clay's tie is not tied all the way up. All right, whatever. He gets to walk down the aisle with his mom, and that's very nice. This woman, as we all know, is a national treasure. Meanwhile, AD's mom's looking back like, damn, I need that. I'm just kidding. Then here comes AD and she's walking alone, which unfortunately is very symbolic. AD's mom's getting super emotional, and guess who's there to tell her it's gonna be okay? Clay's mom, obviously. Now they're up at the altar and it's just as weird as we all expected. Clay's up there smiling like a nervous creep and 80's up there whispering random slang words. Just the most unhinged vows. Clay's telling her like, cause you know I couldn't do sight unseen, right? Like I had to know what you look like. I don't even know why I signed up for this show. Then 80's up there talking in tongues. She's like, I just love how we can and just, we never forget to What in the tarnation is this? Okay, get serious. It's time for the I do. Singular. They start with AD, which also, what do y'all think about the show making the, bride and the groom submit their answers like independently before? Like they write it down, I do or I do not, and like put it in the thing. And then when they get up there, the officiant reads it. So it's like, it avoids the mind change. Like when they be like, well, if he said yes, I would have said yes. And it's like, no, it says right here, you didn't say that. What do we think about this? All right, back to the show. The officiant asks AD, do you take this man-child Clay to have and to hold, to hear him talk your ears off for the next 40 years? And the only time he's not talking your ears off is when he's out cheating on you, for richer or poorer, till death do you part? AD's got that twinkle in her eye at the thought of a life like that. She says, I do. This man Clay's looking like he went to Target in the middle of a work from home day, and his boss asked him if he's free to hop on a video call. Now it's Clay's turn. The officiant's like, Clay, do you take AD to have and to hold, and to maybe never sell a piece of real estate a day in her life, and to say period after every time you guys have sex, for poor, till death do you part? Clay says, I don't think you'll be responsible for me to say I do. And the amount of quivering her lips was doing was shaking the pictures on my wall. Clay says he still wants to work with her. Meanwhile, 80's mom's looking like, well, at least now there's a chance for me. 80 is looking and acting super surprised, but is that even fair? How many different ways could this man have told you and shown you that he wasn't ready for marriage? Am I reading that wrong? Y'all could let me know in the comments, but I found it strange, her reaction. Being hurt, yes. As if it came out of left field. AD's up there literally seeing red. She's like, what the fuck? Clay's like, what's the big deal about this time anyway? Like, why do we have to rush this? And I don't even know that was the right time to even ask that right there. Clay, you see 80's homegirls, right? Do these girls look like girls you want to fuck with? Do they? 80 leaves the altar in tears, and of course we get a nice moment from Clay's mom. Just straight class. And this is a quick moment, but I'm not gonna glaze over the fact that no matter what's happening, black women are gonna hold down black women. I just implore people to just maybe rewatch this whole entire scene, because there's a lot of stuff that's just happening here. We gonna get lost in the drama, but there's a lot of actual nice moments, like human moments. Again, class. Meanwhile, Clay's standing up there like the shit's still happening. And yeah, maybe Clay did break this girl's heart in front of her whole family and all her friends, but I do believe him to be generally well-intentioned. So even though he said no, I'm sure he doesn't feel good about it. So it's nice to see the people that came up to him to make sure that he was all right. 80's back in her bridal suite and she's still steaming. She said that Clay wasted her fucking time. These poor kids are having to watch this like these are the weddings that grown-ups be hyping up. Like, this is what I gotta look forward to? Now her crew's all hating on Clay. This girl's like, he fucked everyone over. I'm sorry, who are you again? You don't have to drag Clay to uplift your friend, especially not 5 seconds after she said she still loves him. Then another nice moment from Clay's mom. She tells him, me and your father were married for almost 24 years. You don't need to feel forced to say I do. If it's not in your heart, it's not in your heart. Have I mentioned that Clay's mom is elite? Anyway, then Clay's dad comes over to talk to him. First of all, shout out to the Divine Nine. Second of all, is it just me, or did it come across like his dad was a little happy that his son said no? I guess he's conflicted. Like, son, you know you're gonna have to get married one of these days to even have a wife to cheat on. All right. I could feel the Superman laser beams coming out of Clay's mom's eyes. Clay's like, should I go talk to AD? Yeah, sure, if you want to get your balls chopped off. But before he does that, he tells us finances are super important to him. And I quote, I don't even understand her finances like that. He says, eternity is forever. Yes, Clay, that's correct. You're doing great. He says, am I a husband? No. Am I deeply in love? No. I don't know who gave Clay this batch of truth serum, but that shit is potent. Then I guess it wore off, because when he went to go talk to AD, he didn't say none of that shit. He tells her, you wouldn't want me to say yes and be in this marriage half-assed. And if you ask me, it's not even half-assed. It's Marge Simpson. No ass. Did I write that? Oh yeah, I wrote all of this. He tells her, I'm not rejecting you. Clay, you literally are. Now, even though I think it's kind of crazy for her to be surprised by all this, it doesn't mean it's not super sad. This is the face of real pain. Then this dweeb pulls out a page of the Ken doll starter pack and he asks her if he can get a hug. Clay tells her that he's gonna put the work in and go to therapy. And it's probably the realest thing this dude's done said the whole season. If he really means it, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see if Nick and Vanessa Lachey follow up on something like this at, say, the reunion. All right, now I need everybody to listen up. We're about to get into a scene that was so major, Netflix didn't even know they was gonna have heat like this. You know the scene. This is with Clay's parents, Trevor and Margarita. Nobody asked for it. Everybody needed it. Clay's mom, Margarita, is getting this dude, Trevor, all the way together. She tells him, you know, Clay's got a lot of unresolved issues with marriage and commitment, and a lot of that is your fault, and you need to apologize. Trevor actually starts to get emotional before he even has a chance to respond. And right here I wrote down like, and Clay's mom's not here for any of those crocodile tears, but actually, I'm not really sure. He tells her, well, you know, I didn't always have the best role models in my life. She's like, yes, I know. But just because we come from broken families, it doesn't mean we have to pass that brokenness on to our kids. It was at this moment we all learned that gospel now comes with our Netflix subscription. It's included. We didn't know we was gonna get gospel watching Love is Blind season 6, episode 12. But it's right there. And I don't know how long it's been since they split up, but you can still see she carries some of that pain. And she probably was more over it, but she explains here that she learned some new information just from this Love is Blind experience. I don't know. I can't read this guy Trevor's mind, but he seems to have some level of remorse. And now he's trying to get the momentum back. He tells her, yeah, well, all Clay's got to do is meet someone like his mother. You know, he just got to meet someone like you. Let me just get a little closer here. Clay's mom said, no. Because you found me, but you wasn't good to me. Oh my golly, Wally. Oh God, okay, yep. Oh yeah. Woo. Yep, Okay, listen, you got Gordon Ramsay, you got Rachel Ray, you got Marcus Samuelson, the whole cast of The Bear, Chef Boyardee. Ain't none of them ever cooked like how Clay's mom just cooked. Trevor done got more quiet than an afternoon with Kenneth and Brittany. Sheesh. Okay, so after my TV stopped smoking from all that heat, we're back with Clay and AD, and he's telling her he feels like a piece of shit, which he does not. She said it feels like he used her as a sacrifice for him to work on himself. Or at least that's what I think she said. She's been whispering since the altar. Then, okay, fuck it. This is also kind of a oh my golly Wally moment of the episode. This is when Clay is like, do you want me to leave? And she's like, yeah. Now, I'm not sure if he's even eligible, but what Clay does next should have him nominated for Best Performance in a Drama Series at next year's Screen Actors Guild Awards. I can't even, listen, I just gotta show y'all this. And I'm not even gonna beg Netflix for forgiveness, because even they know that y'all need this. What in the tarnation is this acting? Did y'all see that fake lean in? What are you doing? I don't want to go. Do I have to leave? Yeah. Okay. I don't want to go. What are you doing? Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. If any of y'all come in here and try to convince me that Clay's not trying to get cast in Mea Culpa 2, I'm blocking you immediately. Anyway, AD says she's tired of carrying these relationships and it never being enough. She can't force Clay to choose her. Okay, everyone just take a breather. That was a lot. I don't know if you need to get up and stretch. Take a sip of water. It was a lot. I will now take the next 60 to 90 seconds to talk about Amy and Johnny's wedding. Just kidding. It's at least 2 minutes. Listen, we've been watching this couple skate through this season almost completely unscathed. It was probably the one couple we all thought would say I do. Okay, let's see, what were my notes here? Amy's getting ready, Johnny's getting ready, things are happening, people are saying stuff. Johnny better not talk about birth control and his vows. These people cry a lot. Johnny's mom looks young and old. His dad talks like a cartoon. Okay. This whole scene is very nice. I am gonna make jokes about it, but if this show was designed to figure out whether if people can fall in love, sight unseen, these two have proved it. So even though they're the only couple still standing, if they go through with this, two real people found real love from a TV show. And that's very cool. It's also super nice to see how quickly these two families from completely different backgrounds assimilated with one another. I don't know how any of these people can cry anymore. The amount of tears being shed on both sides. This is probably something, if y'all were watching this, you probably maybe could have cried in this moment just along with them. All right, let's talk about some of the highlights here before we wrap up. Everybody is just so happy to be there. Johnny's sister is thrilled about joining Amy's family. Then you got the freaking reaction from Amy's dad seeing her in her dress. Sheesh. Then we're over to the ceremony. Just the scene of Amy walking down the aisle with her brother and her father. The tribute to the grandparents that passed away. Listen, of course they both said I do. I'm not even gonna make up some fake stupid vows. They said I do. Before we get to their reception, of course, we got to get one more scene with Clay and AD. I don't even know if we needed this. Clay's just like, I'm over this. I just want to go home. And AD's like, no, I'm not going to be pursuing Clay any longer. This is over. Honestly, this whole scene, AD was looking like, all that work and what did it get me? Of course, this episode comes to a close with scenes from the Amy and Johnny reception. And think about the episode. Jimmy and Chelsea collapse. AD and Clay go nuclear. Clay's parents are having like major convos. All of that tumultuous stuff is kind of like we forget about it for a little bit because Amy and Johnny are so happy. So it's like edited nicely by Netflix to be like, look, some crazy shit did go down, but like our show is about finding love and like this is love. So you get what you need in an episode. You get the drama and you get the love. Boom, and that's episode 12, the freaking finale of season 6. We only got one more thing to do is to talk about the reunion. So if we gonna talk about that next week. Oh, let me do my little thing. As always, thanks for checking out Tate's Take. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. In the comments, what do you hope that Nick and Vanessa Lachey talk about at the reunion? Now, of course, you could spend time complaining that they're even still the hosts. And why is Chris Tate not the host? That's not important. Let's just give them the benefit of the doubt. What do you want them to talk about? I personally hope that they call out Trevor for all his craziness and Kenneth for being a creep. What do y'all want to see on the reunion? And do we have confidence that we're going to get all the answers that we need? Do we have confidence that the people that we need to be there will show up to the reunion? I don't know why it's not required to go to the reunion. It should be in the contract. And if you don't go, you get thrown in the slammer. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for the time, y'all. Peace. Oh, man. Not me opening up a fresh box of nerds for content. Like there's 2 nerds wasted. Because you can't be eating nerds for breakfast.